Now we are live on my side. I didn't even give you a countdown.
Yeah. We need directions. We need instructions.
We are bad. Very bad at this.
Yeah. I think we need an intro, right? That's what we need.
That's probably what we do need.
Because that would definitely tell us like, it's time to go.
Hello, Eric.
Hello, Byron. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my friend?
Good. Did you have a sweat at all this week?
Yeah, I did. I had Aldrich Portgira top 10 plus 1100, and he finished one shot out of that at T14. So lost half a unit this week. If he has one better, like one shot less this week, we win 3 units on the week.
Ooh.
So like it's a good, like we close. Russell Henley top 20. Cam Young was the only bet that I hit this week. Top 10. I laid 2 units on there. Like I don't usually bet more than like 1.5 units on anything. I was all over Cam Young. I had him in one and done. Nothing. So I'm happy, but I'm bummed because I'm seeing everyone victory lap on Twitter. Like this is like a usual recurrence to me. Is on Sundays, I'm on Twitter. I see everyone victory lapping their guy that they've hit. Here I sit with my dick in my hand because I don't know how to hit outrights. And congrats to me on a Cam Young top 10. So I'm a little mopey. We're going to get into it. And, you're going to talk me through this and get me out of this mood. How was your weekend? I'm so sorry. I'm really struggling to find the happiness in the depth of my heart right now.
Yo, it's all good because I think I said this last week. I've been on a really bad stretch of DFS golf. Like it's just been, I think it's like it had been 5 weeks in a row of just losing. And it's like, it was started with the Masters, or actually started before the Masters, but then the Masters, it's like, why wouldn't you put more money into it? Because like, that's the tournament that you're looking for. And also at the same time, I had tickets into the Millie Maker. So, I mean, it looks like you put a lot of money in, but you've won some money with those tickets and whatever. Anyways, so that was a big loss for me because, that's where I kind of like really, I faded Rory at the Masters. And then at the RBC Heritage, I was like all in on Scotty. And then you follow up with this week, and here's where I'll victory lap a little bit. You were in my live chat Wednesday night for members only on YouTube.
Yeah. And
I don't know how much you were able to see, but I know you had mentioned something about putting like a Scotty Morikawa lineup, and that kind of started a little bit of a rant of mine. Not so much a rant. It was just an analysis that was spirited, basically, where it's like
spirit analysis.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, because it wasn't like me mad at anybody. It wasn't me, whatever. It was just like, what I figured out? Scotty Scheffler is not paying off his price tag. He just is not paying off his price tag. And when I look, and it's not just that because he's playing good golf. He's finishing second place.
3 seconds in a row now. But a 9K guy is like won it every single time that he's finished.
And that was my analysis was, listen, and this kind of sucks, Byron. I'm going to be transparent with everyone here.
We've been pretty transparent so far. So
but I mean,
any emotions off your chest, Darbo.
But what I'm trying to get at is like the new DraftKings salary pricing that they do every single week. I built the bucket system, the whole sweet spot process, based off of the traditional salary stuff. So a lot of the salary pieces that come into my analysis have been from since 2018. The last 7 years, they've been doing the same thing. This is the year they do absolutely different things because Scotty's just a really good golfer. So here I am still kind of like, hey, look at last year. We had Scotty Scheffler, $14,000 at The Open Championship, we had him at $14,000 at the U.S. Open. And at the U.S. Open, he didn't win. He got 7th place. But guess what, Byron? He was in the GPP winning lineup at the U.S. Open, finishing 7th place, and he was like $14,400. But you want to know what? What happened there? $6,700 JJ Spawn won the tournament. And then he went on to the Open Championship. I think it was $14,200. And he won that by like 4 strokes. So I started to really deep dive this last week and was like, okay, what am I missing? What am I not getting this year? Yeah. Because I got him right at the American Express because he boat raced everybody there. But ever since, even with the 2nd place finishes at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, or I think, well, was that a 3rd? I don't remember what he did there, but like the Waste Management, I think he came back and got 2nd. Like there's all these things that he's gotten really close to winning, but not. And yet you still can't build a Scottie Scheffler lineup that would have gotten you 7th place in any of those GPPs, meaning you had no shot to win a GPP. And it's not that you don't have a shot to win a GPP. It's also, if you start with Scottie and you've got the wrong pieces, you're making $0.
Zero.
Yeah. So I went into this week, and this is my members only video. This is why, it kind of pays to pay, or at least get my likes up to 25, because then that's when I gift memberships.
Hit that like button, people.
Yeah, hit the like button, because if I get 25 likes on any of my videos, I will give away 5 memberships just randomly. Okay. But anyways, that's my time to take in a lot of the week, sit with what I feel and the analysis that I provide and go, hey, guess what I figured out? This is what I figured out. And so just to, repeat myself, what I figured out was Scottie Scheffler does not pay off his price tag in this new year and this new salary construction that DraftKings has. Because here's the big thing. Here's the whole, for those looking for the rationale behind it. Old traditional salaries, you had 4 or 5 golfers in the 10K range, including Scottie Scheffler. At the Open and the US Open, there were 4 or 5 dudes in the 10K range. And then it went to the next 6, 7, 8, 9K golfers, and then the traditional 10, 8K golfers. That's like the most traditional thing DraftKings has ever done, is put 10 golfers in the 8K range. It's almost throughout every single tournament they've ever had. It's always 10 in the 8K range. This year, there are 2 golfers in the 10K range, and then everybody else is in the 9K range and 8K range. So what does that mean? It means when you look at old leaderboards, you'd have several 10K golfers inside the top 10. Well, guess what? Some of those golfers you couldn't pair up with the cheap golfers, just like you couldn't do with Scottie. So you were kind of mix and matching the same pieces. Well, now when all that pricing is shifted down to the 9 and the 8K range, you have so much more flexibility to build lineups. Now you can put the 2 or 3 9K golfers, because that's what some of these winning lineups are, 3 9s and 3 7s. You can put that shit together and build a way better lineup than any other Scottie Scheffler lineup. And that's what my argument was. He needed to boat race. He needed to win by 4, 5, 6 strokes. Now, I'll be honest, Byron. Here's where I can't victory lap. I thought the winning score was going to be like 11, 12, 13 under. I didn't think there was going to be a guy boat racing anybody. If Scottie and Cam Young's score were flipped, that's where I think it actually gets really close. Because pull up my screen. I'll share the.
Let's go. It's crazy, Darbo, because Cam Young, first of all, led the field in strokes gained putting. That's how you boat race people, right? You don't typically just run away. It's so difficult to gain like double-digit strokes gained ball striking. Yeah, it's super, super difficult, right? But Cam, just when it comes to putting, that's what can have you leading the field by 1 million strokes. Like you beat Scottie Scheffler by 6 because Scottie gained 0 short game this week. So
yeah, his putting was bad this week.
Yeah.
So on the screen, I do this every single week, figure out the optimal, the GPP, and the sweet spot optimal. By the way, this is impressive, Byron. Did you even notice this? The winning lineup left $900 on the table. The GPP winning lineup. That's either luck or extreme skill to leave that much money on the table and win a GPP.
I mean, there were only 70 guys. You know, like if your core is like a Toiga, and you just sprinkle in your favorite dudes. I mean, it was a weird week, like you've mentioned, right? Like we've got all of these big names that are cheap.
Right. So here's the thing, the kind of the rant I was going on is let's say we flip Scotty and Cam Young's score. Let's say Scotty scores 124 and we say Cam Young scores 103.5. This right here, this chunk of golfers, actually, let me put a filter on this so it sorts from DK points highest to lowest. Look at this right here, and including Sepp Straka. Those 4 golfers to put with a 13 6K golfer, that's 5 golfers that I've highlighted. And the sum is $47,100. That means I can't put a 6th golfer with him. Okay, so who do I get rid of? Do I get rid of Siwoo Kim and then I can put Matt McCarty? That's 44.7. I still can't build a lineup with 6 golfers because $6,000 is the cheapest golfer possible.
Yep.
Okay, so 79 down to 67. Okay, that's 43,500. So I got to find a 6K golfer, $6,500 golf. Where am I going to find that? So then do I grab a 8.4 down to a 7.9? And now I can do 7 on the button. So there we go. I can do something like this. So we can pretend Scotty scores 21 more points. And let me just do the quick math here. Let's do 124. This lineup would have scored 584. 584. This is if Scotty Scheffler and Cam Young's DK points were flipped. 584. Okay, let's pretend this is Cam Young at 103. So it's 10-2. It's these guys. I think I can just copy down right here. That's 55. That's 50,500. 49.7. That's too difficult. 49.8. Okay, so it's the guys that I have it in green.
Yeah.
But let's do 103 with these scores here. All right, so it's 581.5. So that Scotty lineup would have won. It would have won by 3 points. Would have won by 3 points.
But again, like the 6K guys that you had were Matt McCarty, Alex Fitzpatrick, and Nick Taylor. Those are the 3 skeleton keys that you have. Whereas if you go Cam Young, you've got Smalley, Fowler, all of the 6K guys, Gerard, Mav, like they all can be part of your combination.
That's right.
Yeah.
100%. You hit the head on the nail there. That is the whole argument that I was making that Wednesday night is look at the 6K pieces that you have to put in your lineup.
Yeah.
Whereas you can exchange 72 with 72. You wouldn't want to drop down to this 88 and switch this out with like a Siwoo Kim because you'd be losing out on 11 points. But a lot of this, some of these other guys are close enough that you can do kind of mix and matches and get a really good lineup where's the next 6K golfer? Mike Kim. Then we got these guys down here. Like it gets
Aldrich was nice at his price this week for sure.
Yeah. But it also kind of comes with salary building, right? A lot of people don't like to leave a lot of money on the table. And I just built y'all a lineup that was $49,800 of the salary. And that included a 68, a 67, and a 69. That's kind of easy to do. Can you put together like a 65, a 6,000, and a $6,300 golf?
Yeah. Yeah.
And these golfers weren't good enough anyways down here. Just to throw that out there, they weren't even good enough.
You can't have those finishes in a 72-man field. That is also these signature events, man, when you have such is discrepant a word?
Discrepancy.
But is discrepant a word? Is that where does discrepancy? Anyway, whatever. So the size of the field also, like I think 6K guys in a 160-man major field, you just have more of them, right? Like to file in with. I mean, half the field is in this. How many guys were in the 6K range this week?
Let's count. I didn't actually. I don't
remember
off the top of my head. 30 total golfers in the 6K range, and in the 7K range, 20. So we had 30 in the 6K range, 30, and then 20 in the 7. That's 50 golfers. 22 golfers were in the 8K range and above.
Yeah.
Actually, 21 because Jake Knapp withdrew. Well, I mean, he was in the 9K range and he withdrew after lock and before. It was after lock.
Yeah. Shout out Flag Hunting, who put that out there that we had injury watch on Knapp. It's so frustrating, man, with that kind of stuff. But let's stay on point, yeah. So yeah, dude, like it's now.
That was just my big thing is I don't know, Byron, if DraftKings continues to do salaries this way. And by the way, this is where I'm mad. Is like these salaries suck. They absolutely suck.
But don't you think they're fair?
They're
fair, like because Scotty's winning at a 33% clip, right? So you just said that Cam, if we switched out the points, Scotty would have won you a GPP
with those 3 6K golfers. You're right.
Yes. And we all know that those are the secrets. It's the 6K, 6, 7K guys that you're looking for with Scotty.
Yep.
He gained 0 stroke short game. He's having the best short game season of his career, obviously because of the poor ball striking numbers. The price play is having him chip a lot more. But this week he gained 0 and he gained over 2 per round ball striking. So now this is back to back weeks with second place finishes that he's gained with the ball. Like the ball striking is really starting to find its groove. He was much better on approach this week. Scotty Scheffler gained 1.6 strokes per round. What's that?
Yeah.
Six
really
strokes on really approach good. This week, which I think was behind Adam Scott.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's good to see with Scotty.
2 Scotts at the top with the ball striking irons there. So shout out Adam Scott with one of the most monstrosity backdoors I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the man, I think he had a 3% chance to finish inside the top 5 when he started today, and he top 5 T4.
Yeah, he had
which is insane.
two great rounds of golf on the weekend,
dude. When it comes to, this has got nothing to really do with anything, but when it comes to like finishing inside the top 5 for Adam Scott, this is now his second top 5 in like 14 or 16 months. You got to go back to 2024 playoffs for him to have top 5s. He had the Riv top 4 at a golf course that you play him at the courses that he plays well at, obviously. But if he had these 2 rounds to start the tournament, I understand the first 2 are really bad, but are the next 2 even worse? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he have 2 consecutively good rounds if his first one on Thursday gets him into the lead or the mix? Obviously played very freely with 0 like leaderboard pressure to start the day. The ultimate. I mean, shot -8 today. That was.
You know what though? Like,
score.
I feel like you've heard me talk about Adam Scott. Like I like Adam Scott. Just he's hitting the ball so far, Yeah. Hitting the ball super far. And I even told you, I was like, I watched him at the Sony Open, put everything to 8 feet. And then you joked, it's like, yeah, but what did he finish? And it was like, yeah, because he couldn't putt. And you're like, that's the issue. That's, you can't. But to me, I'm like, this has got to be one of his best approach seasons of the year. Like the guy is just insane and it's not maybe just approach, it's ball striking, right? It's the driving with the irons. It's insane. And his putting still sucks.
Still sucks.
Despite having the new putter, that he thought things would be all figured out. But yeah.
Yeah. No, congrats to him. It was a big deal, to get that through. I think he's starting to find, like maybe this repeated top 10 performances in the space of 3 months can maybe help his confidence a bit. But I just don't trust him. And, like this is the stuff, like variance happens in golf. I said the same thing with Nick Taylor. Like this guy, Nick Taylor finished T9. Nick Taylor's best finish this year is a T13 at the Sony Open. You know, like he's had one top 20 this year. There's a guy that just randomly showed up. He lost 3.5 strokes putting today. Fun stuff. What on earth are we doing? You know, like that's just variance. You know, if you just guys just play well, guys just don't. It's just how it goes, which is interesting to note there. Ben Griffin is.
Hey, hold on. Before we go to Ben Griffin, Nick Taylor, did you see he got physio on the golf course?
Dude, wild. Like chiropractic stuff as well. Like they were like popping backs and all sorts of stuff.
These are the things we don't know about these golfers. Like that's, in all honesty, Byron, that could explain, you know, like I always rant about linear progressions when it comes to strokes gain analysis. Like everybody looks at a linear progression where I'm just like, why? It never really tells you who's going to play well. You know, then it might tell you who's good at certain stats. But what I'm getting at is if we see these guys with a linear progression, maybe the reason they're not consistent is because of injuries, because of maybe something nagging. And you and I know, we're both golfers, dude. Like, what if you have a cramp in your hip, you know, like, and it just came out of nowhere? Yeah. You know, we're getting old. We throw our backs out just by sneezing or laughing, you know, like, and I'm 38. You're younger than me. Like this shit happens.
I'm not that much younger, my friend.
Well, I'm giving no. You take it. No. Stop it. You take it. Okay. Let everyone know that you're younger than me.
34, buddy. I forgot that I was 34 until a couple days ago again.
That's how old you are. Your memory's already going out on you, dude.
Forgetting how old you are.
Yeah. These golfers have to face the same things. They probably forget how old they are too.
And he lost 3.5 strokes putting today, Eric. Like, he's one of the, you know, like when he played so well to start the tournament, he was putting lights out, you know. And then what do you think hurts your back the most?
Oh, bending over and putting, dude. I can't stand. Yeah, that's why I got a longer putter, is because I can't be bent over putting all the time because my lower back goes out. And then your hammies go out, you know, like that's the next thing to go out. And it's like, now you're miserable and you don't want to golf.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I think honestly, when your back's the worst, it's the short game. That is the biggest issue. Oh, yeah. Really, right? Because it's just how it is. I don't know why, but you know, off we go.
Yep. You were moving down the list. I'm sorry. I derailed. You went to Ben Griffin next.
I was just rambling. So okay. I did want to shout out Ben Griffin. I had him as like a nice little, he was 4% at $8,000 at a golf course that rewards long iron play.
Okay.
You know, like I was all about Ben Griffin this week, but had him in very in the wrong lineups, you know, because he's not necessarily been playing the greatest, so you're not putting him in that many. Mm-hmm. But shout out to him, you know, like I'm excited. I think maybe Ben Griffin this week at Quail is going to be interesting, and you know, going forward into majors, because he had 2 top 10s and 2 majors last year. 2 of the 3, you know, he did not play the Masters and he missed the cut at the Open. So 2 majors that really like make sense to him. I think he's got a good crack at it going again into major season this week. So shout out Ben Griffin at $8,000, part of Optimals, GPPs, and Sweet Spots. Yep. All 3 of them, you know, I mean, at 8K, if you're finishing 3rd, you are likely in all 3 of those, you know, so he was the skeleton key there for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and again, kind of echoing back, like if you just look at the top 10 of finishers, like sure, there's these 3 Yahoos down here in the 6K range, but everybody else up here is 7K and above. Yeah, 8K. Oh, and the main thing I was getting at is like 79, 8,000, 92. That's your top 5. Your top 5 doesn't have anybody less than $7,900, and there were 6 of these golfers inside the top 5.
Yeah,
you know, Scotty is the most expensive, but the other guys, I mean, that this is where you get your meat and potatoes with your lineups right here.
And also shout out Sepp Straka. I've had him for so many top 5 outrights this year, and he goes into Sunday and shoots 77s, and then today he shot like -6. You know,
dude, helped
more
me
than
win
half his score.
Helped me win a league lineup, baby. It was great.
Let's go. Let's go.
In the chat,
did you play Scotty? this week?
Okay, so I did play Scotty. I started my lineups. So Wednesday night, during the members only stream, I'd already built. I needed to build 105 lineups. I had already built like 13 Scotty lineups, and I spent that first like 20, 30 minutes speaking about my Scotty Scheffler rant about how he's too expensive. And I originally wanted to play him at 41% of like my lineups. I wanted to put 41 lineups together with Scotty Scheffler in it. And I'm like, I think I'm doing 20%, 21, 20%. Because I feel like, I don't know why these numbers just feel right. I would have to do more of an analysis on it, but it's like, Scotty's so good. I just made my argument against playing Scotty, but he is also just so good that he could boat race. He could boat race the field, and then that lineup I was telling you about, that would be the lineup you'd want to build. Or maybe you could build something, a slight variation that still would be competitive with first place prize. Like, I'm not going to go through all the iterations of lineup building that you could have done, but I just feel like somewhere between 16 and 21% is kind of the sweet spot for playing the best golfer in the world that may not win you a GPP. For whatever reason, I don't know why it sticks there. Maybe it's 14%, but I believe it's in the high teens that you would want to play Scotty no matter what, like when it comes to lineup building. But that leaves me with 80% of lineups that don't have Scotty in it. And I was really smart with that. I think I had Cam Young in like 25% of my lineups. And then I just kind of went down the tier, like with 9Ks and 8Ks. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't even remember how much I had Cam Young, but I thought I did a smart job of building lineups this week. No, I actually had less. I put his exposure to 33%, but I guess I only played him in 17.3% of lineups.
Because Scotty was sucking all of those combos out of him,
Yeah, I guess I had 23%. I guess I went, well, this only has 98. I did build 7 other lineups. I bet you it didn't have Scotty in them. So,
question for you, Eric. When it comes to Scotty, knowing what we know with what he needs for success, you need 3 6s, potentially a low, 2 6s and 2 low. 2 6s and really maybe 3 7s. You're not even touching the 8s. Maybe you get a Ben Griffin in there type situation. But
yeah, you could do this lineup right here that I just highlighted: a 13, 6, 8, 79, and then 3 6s.
Right. So knowing that you need to find those cheapies, wouldn't the best way to play Scotty Scheffler is just like load up on him? Because when he fires and wins the tournament that week,
I know where you're going with this.
Then you've got more chances at getting the other 6K.
I have the answer loaded for you. I have the answer loaded for you.
What's the answer?
Combinations. If you do combinations, you understand what combinations are. I'm going to throw it on a calculator right now. It won't take long, Byron. It won't take long. So you remember we have 30 6K golfers. So
yes,
when we do combinations, you need 5 golfers to fit in with Scotty Scheffler. So you would start with 30 as your 6K times 29, because once you take one 6K away, now your 30 becomes 29. So then we take another one. We go to 28. Those are our 3 6K golfers. Well, I just told you there's 27K golfers. So let's go ahead and plug in 27K golfers. And then in 8Ks, now listen, when it comes to 8Ks, it's probably really difficult to play anyone greater than $8,500. So we'll be smart with this and just put a 5 for this number. You have 2,436,000 iterations that you can build, different combinations that would go with Scotty, 3 6Ks, 1 7K, and 1 8K, cutting off the 8K in the middle. Are you building 2.4 million lineups?
No.
This is where I want to do a whole video on this, but it's such a nerdy thing that most people don't care for. So I did have kind of that thought process before, because if you start with a 10K, a 9K, an 8K, 2 7s, and a 6, that really narrows how many lineups you can actually build. It's like in the 300,000s or something like that, just because of how small each of those player groups are. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a little bit more, but it's much less than this.
Yeah, significantly
because
less.
We're pulling from the biggest group. That's the 6K range. It's the biggest,
the nastiest,
group.
The grossest, the most
Like,
variant. Yeah.
This number right here is this number right here, 24,360, just grabbing 3 6K golfers.
Yeah.
That gets challenging.
Okay, this is, make that box big. Make it like giant. Like, I want to see this thing. I want to take a screenshot of it because it's like,
I don't
this
know
is
if
what
I
we're
can make
dealing
it
with,
any
man.
bigger. Yeah.
You know, like, when I just speak like this in my head, I'm not even thinking of the actual math. I'm just thinking like theoretically.
Yeah.
And theoretically, you know, you got 2.5 million combinations. Now, when it comes to the 6K range, there are certain people that you just know are not going to be part of the optimal, right? So maybe you can whittle it down a little bit, and, you know, finding the right 6Ks helps a little bit. But again, it's all about a numbers game. So it may just be worth our while to leave him alone.
This is the number. I'm sorry. I just wanted to pull this up right now. I went, I started with 4 10K golfers, multiplied that by 7 9K golfers, multiplied that by 10 8K golfers. So that's your 10 9 8. Mm-hmm. Then I multiplied it by 35. This is a full field. This isn't this field. This is a full field. Yep. 35 7K golfers. That's the average 7K range that you see. I only did 45 6K golfers because that's usually 6,500 and up. So I'm just playing the smart range of 6K golfers. Let's not grab the low 6K. This is how many combinations you can build with a 10 9 8 7 7 6. That is why I always kind of preach that for the longest time. It's a lot easier, especially when you see like 25% of lineups, successful lineups that win you money, can take down a GPP. 25% of them follow that 10 9 8 7 7 6. So why not? You know, this is, remember the numbers we were just looking at, 2.4 million versus 1,300.
Yeah.
That's how many iterations you can build with Scotty Scheffler. This is how many iterations really that you could have built with. Actually, with Cam Young would have been different this week. Here, let's do this week. It's 1 with Cam Young, right?
Yep.
And for the optimal, we had 1 9K golfer. Let's just look. I'm sorry. We had 1 9K golfer, and there were how many? 7 9Ks. How many 8Ks did we have? 10? We had 11. Oh, wait. We had 12. Ooh, we had more. We had more than usual. Okay. So you would go with the 1 times 7 times 12. We had 2 7K. Actually, you would want 1 more 8K golfer because there was 1 more in that lineup, the optimal lineup. Here, let's look at that right now. So it was a 10, a 9, 2 8s, 1 7, and a 6. So now we multiply that by 20 for our 7K golfer, and then we multiply this by 30. I mean, it's not a pretty number. Let's put it that way. It's pretty.
Still 20% less than what you're dealing with Scotty Scheffler this week.
Yeah. So I'm not, this is the math. This is the math that goes behind the combinations of lineups you could have built, putting together the best Cam Young lineup. It isn't the GPP winning lineup, but this is the best lineup that spends 49.6 and above. This was the sweet spot optimal. So yeah, the iterations are smaller. And just think of it this way. If you have a lock, like you're playing Siwoo Kim and Cam Young together, that will eliminate the amount of combinations you can build.
Yeah, that's where having a nice core, but again, if your core goes stale, then you're out, it sucks. But I think it's really interesting, man.
I also want to point out this. Remember, I do the marquee tee times where I'm also limiting how many golfers you can pick from groups. This will also lower the lineup builds that you can build. And like this works 90% of the time. I don't know the exact number. I could certainly run it at some point in time, but there are your 4 golfers. You see the little black tick marks. Those are optimal lineup golfers. You see the green salaries. Those are sweet spot optimals. 4 golfers in the marquee tee times. Every single week, I say pick 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times to put in your lineup. So you could, because you've got This is 18 golfers. 18 golfers. So you can pick the right golfers here and then just fill in the rest. I don't know what the iterations would be on that. I mean, it would be 2 times 2 times 2. It'd be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 9 times, basically, to try to figure out. Actually, you'd only do it 4 times. I don't know. I have to look into it. I don't remember how to do it off of that, but I guarantee you that number is so much smaller than this.
Than $500,000. Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree. Also, shout out Bertrico, who had a top 10 on Alex Fitz as your only bet, with Fitzy as your Zurich guys. That's a solid bet. T9, man, dude. You know, that's just like it was a really weird leaderboard this week, man. I think after round 1, Darbo, there were like 4 people from $8,000 and above that were inside the top 10 or something ridiculous. You know, like there were more 9K guys than I think 8 and above K guys in the top of the leaderboard after round 1, which was really interesting. Now, do you think the golf course that they play dictates who you want to roster? You know, like at a big boy event like this with like a 7,700-yard golf course, do you think there are just some guys that you automatically know that like just not going to be in your player pool because the golf course, they're just not going to be in the top 10? Like Brian Campbell being inside the top 10 at DORAL. Where the hell did he even finish this week? But T49, you know, like anyone named Brian didn't finish better than 38th this week. Brian.
Yeah, to answer that, this is where I will also, okay, so I was given a little bit of shade towards DraftKings. Here's where I'll give them a little bit of light. When it comes to that 6K range, the jingle that I always say is never fall in love with a 6K golfer, but never disrespect one. It's a reason they're in the 6K range. Yeah. They suck. Like
there's also a reason they're on the PGA Tour, you know, like
they're good. Yeah, they're good. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. But there's something erratic with their game. That's why they're in the 6K range. Yeah. It's a perfect place to put Michael Kim this week because as good as he is, the guy misses left and right enormously. You know, like he's one of the biggest sprayers off the tee that is in the field this week or this last week.
Yeah.
So it makes sense he's in the 6K range. He did play well enough. You know, he was the 6,500. He finished 18th place. Better than Tommy Fleetwood, who was $9,700, you know? So like, yeah, these guys can perform well because they're on the PGA Tour. They're good golfers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, in a week like this, I think DraftKings understands who are the best course fits, you know, who have I mean, that's why Adam Scott was $8,400. You know, not only did he have really good course history, you know, being the last champion at this tournament back in 2016, but also he hits the ball far and he's a really good ball striker. So, you know, all that makes sense.
Also, Darbo, do you think DraftKings is going to change their pricing when Scotty Scheffler is the highest owned option in the field still, though? You know, that is the thing. It's like, is it rake? Well, it's not rake free because you're still winning money if you get, you know, Scotty in your lineup and whatever, you know, if you find 4 of the 5 names together. But, man, you know, like that is a lot of people that have clicked his name at a price that we kind of agreeing is extremely difficult to play optimally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think people understand that whole play optimally. They just know he's really good. You know, like.
So I'll find the other 5 guys one way or another. But
if we sort by recent form, outside of Alex Fitzpatrick and Rose had a really good course or recent form.
When you throw when a major's like half your results, it's going to be the case.
Yeah. I don't know. Did he play any of these other tournaments? Doesn't look like it. He didn't play in the Heritage. Never mind. Yeah. But anyways, Scotty, second, 22nd. Cam Young, 25th, 3rd, 1st. You know, like that 3rd and 1st average the same as the 2nd and 2nd, you know, but he's just slightly better when it comes to recent form. And now these numbers aren't even going to change that much. Scotty's still going to be better with recent form than Cam Young.
Scotty's going to be a 2 across the
Oh
board.
yeah. This will get kicked out. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, it's like Scotty's still the best golfer on tour right now. He just has he has the one win.
He's not the best DFS option.
No, that's right. Because price matters. Salaries matter.
Yeah. When you get $50,000 to go buy groceries and you buy some prime rib or ribeye with your $50, then you're buying potatoes.
Well, you're gonna have to add bacon bits to the, that's because that's all you can afford.
Yeah, bacon bits, and those aren't even the ones that you buy. You go into the back of the cupboard and
they're stale. They've been there for a long time.
Hard bacon bits that you're just adding from prior orders. So maybe will be interesting to see this week how it goes with Rory being only at
I think Rory will only be like 11-4. I mean, we can get into that.
Let's do
shortly.
that. Yeah.
You want to just jump right to that? I guess I don't have anything else to talk about for this tournament.
We can scroll. You want to just do you want to filter by DK points again quickly or finishing position? Kind of just
here's DK
points. We're allowed one sentence per person until we don't want to do it anymore.
The only thing I find really surprising, one is Matt McCarty. I mean, I watched him throw darts on Saturday. I was watching a little bit of Matt McCarty throwing darts. It was insane. He's putting it to a foot when it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's very good at golf, dude.
I'm gonna pat myself a little bit on the back here. I was golfing today with Tyler. He was the first person in your chat that sent out. It was windy as hell today too, and I threw a couple darts. I was impressing myself.
Eric throws darts, boy.
New irons, Byron.
You got new irons now. As you're just going, you got a whole new set.
Yeah, I'm a Titleist slut now. I sold out, man. I sold out my soul to the devil.
I honestly think it's one of the best brands out there.
Oh yeah. So I got these clubs Friday, and I got them bent to 4 degrees upright. 4. Here's a fun. I'll be quick on this story, but this is a fun story. I've been going through fittings all spring long, since February, because I told you I was really looking to do some serious golf this year. Wanted to do the US Open qualifier, which I missed out on because I was on a wait list and I didn't get added. But with that is I wanted to be more consistent, and to be more consistent, I needed to find better spinning irons, because those war clubs that I was hitting before, the Bryson irons, they just had no spin. Like the 7 irons that I were hitting had like 4,600 RPMs on them. The average 7 iron that you want to hit is anywhere between 54 to 5,600. So I was a whole 1,000 RPMs lower. My ball, like, I remember one time I was at a course and the wind was directly in my face, probably like a 20-mile-an-hour wind, Byron. I was 150 yards out. I was like, well, shoot, do I hit my 9 iron, 160, my 160 club? Surely enough, the wind's going to, grab it straight through it. I'm over the green, like 20 yards long, because it sloped down. So I hit the down slope and it just skidded past. Now I'm downwind on a chip shot, on a downhill. It was also a downhill putt too. So like I'm chipping it up and I'm trying to hit it close. So that was one of those irons. And one of my friends from up north have been making fun of me for forever. It's like, you're such a serious golfer, yet you play the shittiest golf clubs. It's like, yeah, but I'm still beating you guys, with my shitty golf clubs. Like,
I know. Well,
it's a fun handicap. I like to play that way.
Yeah. It also lowers your expectations too, because if you've got everything that's the best, then you got nothing to blame.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. But also, that's what I would just tell you.
Yes.
When you beat me, so to make myself feel better, because I'm good at making myself feel better. Because I always feel bad all the time on Sundays. So this is like my new thing, is Spin Zone with Linda Q.
Love it. But anyways, so yeah, it was great. I almost had a birdie streak. I almost had 3 in a row. It was a par 3. I put it to about 10 feet. My putting just sucked today, dude. It was just terrible. I didn't read that putt. I was never going to make that putt. When I hit it, I left it a little short. So that was also my fault. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
But I was missing on the low side, and I didn't even know that was the low side, Byron. I thought it was the high side when I looked at that putt.
No good. That's never good. Dude, when you misread the direction of a putt, nothing makes you feel worse. Apart from, I played on Thursday. On the second hole, we were talking about my buddies. Only one came on that hole. I hit a 6-iron from like 160 into the wind, and it looked really, really good along the way. That was like the only good shot I hit. But after I'd hit it, my 6-iron had like flipped in my hand. So I knew I was not flipped all the way, but I made contact and the club shifted in my grip. I then went 3-wood, 3-wood, 3-wood hybrid on a par 5.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was a dogleg left, and I just kept blowing it right into like the abyss. I was topping hybrids, Eric. I've never done this before, where on the very first hole, I tried to hit like an 8-iron around the tree, fading it. I hit the ball. I was looking where the ball should have been. And then a couple seconds later, I saw my cartmate looking at a ball by his feet. He was like 5 yards in front of me to the right. So, like 5-5. I fatted it 45 degrees straight at him. It like rolled to his feet. Like that is the kind of golf I was playing on. It's insane. Ever since I've like had you come down and the boys, like, and I pretend like I'm this good golfer, I can't even play golf anymore. Dude. Like there's a lot in my life that is just really bad right now, Eric. Like dealing with the good stuff is not easy because there's not a lot of it. Like I'm just obsessed with the good because it's like the only thing I can watch,
Well,
I don't know what happens. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I think there's a bit more seriousness in your life nowadays, being a father and all that stuff. Like there's more seriousness that you have more responsibility. I get to go out and just bumfuck around on a golf course, try all these little flippy shots that I get to actually exercise and hit them close to, make birdies or safe pars. Like, whereas you go out once a week, maybe once a month, and you have expectations of your younger self because it's in you, it's there. You just got to practice more.
But Darbo, I've hit enough golf shots in my life that fatting an 8-iron fade around a tree, 45 degrees straight at my cartmate is not on the bingo card. Two holes later, I'm in the middle of the fairway after chipping out after hitting it into the tree right away off the tee box. So this is my third shot from the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
I hit a hybrid.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for the ball flight going straight. The next thing I see the ball landing 10 yards in front of me. I topped it 10, like higher than it went far. That is when I came to this country for golf. Like I can play good golf. And I topped a golf ball higher than it went far. Like that is when you just want to die. And that is on the third hole of the day. And then you still got to figure your shit out from there. So the bush apples went down fast and it still didn't even help. Like it got better, but not, whatever. I left my driver in the garage. I wasn't even hitting driver. I was just ripping 3-wood off the tee all day, which worked.
Yeah.
But every now and then it would not work out. Anyway.
Byron hits his 3-wood.
I'm just bitching.
Good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I was out driving everyone I was playing with a 3-wood. So, at least I felt fantastic after shooting 50 and could come home to my wife and say I outdrove everyone with my 3-wood because I'm just that guy. So
yeah, absolutely, man. Well, Byron, I hope things pick up, and I feel like you and I just need to go golfing sometime and just relax. And
I'm golfing. I'm going golfing to Chicago with Ryan Noonan from BetSperts.
Oh, that's right. When is that?
I'm going to stay with him first week of June.
Okay.
So it's like in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And I'm contemplating fucking canceling because I'm not driving out there to play this kind of golf.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Chicago to shoot 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. I would be the same way. I would be the same way. But no. I should just make a trip down there and just steal you away.
I need you.
Tell Caitlin, hey, no. I'm taking my buddy with me. We're gonna do a little attitude adjustment.
Pat wants me and Kenny to come up to Canada to do a fantasy golf degenerates versus him and Feinberg and Cust, like as a YouTube content, which would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
There is not a single week in my calendar that I can. Enough. It is 50 minutes in here. It's enough. I'm bitching. This is not a bitching session. This is golf, Darbo, and it's time to talk about the Truist.
I was just gonna say,
enough is enough.
We can make this a therapy session. You know, we got people in the chat that are.
I'm in my studio and
sweating.
Temperatures are outside hot here, so I need to go put a t-shirt on because I've got the doors closed. I pulled your screen up. Get us to the promised land when I come back.
All right, I got the Truist up. So, anyone who's interested, go check out sweetspotdfs.com. The cheat sheet has the Truist on it. It also has Myrtle Beach because there are 2 tournaments next week. We have an alternate, and then we have the signature event. Now, here's the thing. This is what I hate the most. This Truist Championship is actually the Wells Fargo Championship, just with a different name. However, last year, the Truist Championship was played at a different golf course. So, and I forgot to put those things on the screen, so I'll just go ahead and get into all of these things. I've made all the updates on the database to change it from Wells Fargo to Truist. Because like I said, this is technically the Wells Fargo Championship because it's played at Quail Hollow, but it's the Truist. So I was just telling everybody we got 2 tournaments this week. I don't know. Were you listening? You were listening?
I was listening.
Okay. So no Scotty in the Truist, which I mean he can figure that shit out. Not a big deal. Not so much figure it out, but he can skip it. He can skip it. Rory just skipped DORAL, Cadillac.
Yeah. And the RBC Heritage. This is the first time we've seen Rory since winning the Masters. So Scotty doesn't play the week before majors. It just shows you how much he cared about Jack at the Memorial to go play the Memorial.
Oh my God.
Does not give a shit about the Truist.
God, I need to do a win the pot giveaway. Oh man, shoot. I thought there was one more week until the PGA. I totally spaced that out.
It is next week.
I know.
If you're listening to this on Monday, it's next week.
Yep. So, nope. I'll put it out there. There'll be a win the pot giveaway once again for the PGA Championship. I totally forgot. New job, Byron. Got a new job. That's a whole whirlwind of shit going on in my life. I had those cluster headaches for a month. So the 2 weeks off between my jobs, I was literally in bed recovering. So I just want to mention this off the hop for everybody who's on sweetspotdfs.com and was looking for updates that I said I was going to. I am so sorry. Having those headaches suck so much. They're not just normal headaches. On a pain scale, the only thing that rivals it is childbirth. The only thing that rivals it is childbirth. That's how painful these headaches are.
When did you have a child?
No. It's not me. I'm not saying.
Oh, is this what someone else is? This is what other females have said.
No, this isn't even females. This is just on a pain scale. Like they've had people. It's like a Richter scale of pain that they've measured. Listen, when I say it, women get mad at me. And I'm like, but you don't know what it's like to have a cluster headache. Like what? It's literally like a drill. A drill. I'm not even joking. If I were to put a drill to your temple and just not even slowly, Byron, I'm not even like, ooh. It's a like right in your head and it just stays there. It's like the Terrifier. If you've ever watched those movies with the Art the Killer Clown, he would do this shit to people. That's how it feels.
Okay.
I'm
how close
not
to
even
like brain
joking,
freeze?
dude.
Because sometimes I'll get like really bad brain freeze behind my eye, and I'm like, Jesus, is this what Darbo goes through?
That is very.
That's only for 30 seconds, 45 seconds sometimes.
Yeah, no, this is for 45 minutes.
No.
Brain freeze is actually the same spot. The same spot that a brain freeze hits you. That's where that hits you, and that's exactly the same feeling,
dude.
But it's for
I don't know how you cope.
time.
I don't know how you cope. That's insane.
Medication. That is
Okay.
it, or it is ice and wrestling with demons. That's what it is. You wrestle.
I'm listening to a book on demons right now. So we're doing it all. Shout out AJ Love, Father Time getting us all. I mean, we are all there, AJ. I appreciate your love. Anytime signature events have an invitational, there's a 20-person cut of some sorts.
I like to also say, yeah, you're right. I think that one of the easier ways to say it is if there is a host to the signature event, that's when there's a cut.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of them. They're all on my shirt. They're all on my shirt. We've got Arnold Palmer right there. We've got the Bear, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger right there. That's Tiger. We got Tiger. Yeah. So Memorial, Arnold Palmer, and Genesis.
Yes. There it is. The 3 boys doing their thing. Have you checked your mic? Because when I took myself away, you sounded different, but you sound better now that I'm back. So just double check, but I think you are good. I heard weird things, and I don't want to wait until hour 2 to tell you this. I'm assuming you are good to go though.
I have my mic on my side, and
no, you sound good. It was just when I jumped out, it sounded.
I have my mic on.
Different.
Yeah. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay. Awesome. You do look good, dude. You dress to impress. I love the outfit. The black little thingies with the black hat looks good. Looks really good.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this was one of my favorite shirts.
Yeah, no, you should wear it more often. It looks good.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right, so we're on to the Truist and Myrtle. I have that on Truist and Myrtle. So if you go to sweetspotdfs.com, you can look at next week. You can see the alternate. I don't have salaries in here for the alternate yet. This doesn't quite function like next week, but once the salaries do come in, I will update this. So you can get kind of a head start on everything. So we can go here. One thing I want to mention for people that go here, there are some buttons that, you know how this works with Power BI. I need to save certain clicks, because if you were to go to strokes gained last year, watch the little alternate thing here. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah.
What you would want to do is hit the eraser button, and it'll bring back the alternate. So anybody that's on here, if you are in next week and you're looking at strokes gained last year, strokes gained last week, or whatever, you could also hit recent form, and that will show up again. So these are the buttons that I'm talking about, Byron, that I don't have, situated here. But if you wanted to look into next week, go ahead, hit the eraser button down there, and then go back to alternate, and then you're good here. You can click any of these buttons on all the things will show up.
Okay, I'm kicking you off of yours first. We're going to go to the odds and guess a couple. Yeah. Guess a couple. Okay. Rory's at 6-1, 2 in the tournament. Scotty was 3-1, and he was 13-5. So, like you mentioned, I think Rory's going to be right in that 11.5 range, which makes tons of sense. Cam was 10-2 with Scotty Scheffler at roughly 15-1. Now he's 9-1. I think he could be upper 8K, upper 10K range. Eric, what do you think? He'll be more expensive than he was last week.
Do we think he's going to play, or I imagine he's going to play, but is there a chance he might withdraw?
So Michael Kim or Andrew Novak, one of the two mentioned, I think it was Michael Kim. He plays his best golf in weeks 3 and 4 of a stint or a series of golf, where some of these guys have figured out the analytics and know when they play their best golf. And I think it can be derogatory for some guys, even if they don't kind of play great, they still at least got reps in and things like that. I think sometimes having that sensation on a Sunday of being in the tournament, being only 4 days away when you tee it up on a Thursday versus 11, sometimes just changes things for people. It's like the back nine. Some guys play better on a back nine. Some guys play well on the front nine. Scotty obviously needs to be fresh to go for majors. That's his thing. Yeah. So I would imagine
I like that for him too. I think that's a perfect formula for him. Rory, I think, is on the opposite side. He likes to play the week before, from what I remember.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He likes to probably play the week before, but I don't think he knows what is correct for him.
I thought he said that at one point in time.
No, it makes sense, but also, what did he freaking know? He hadn't won a major for 10 years. I don't think he.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was clutching at straws. I think.
True.
Like, didn't he? I'd imagine he skipped the Valero when he won the Masters last year, and he did it again this year. He didn't play the Valero this year, so I think he doesn't have a routine, to be honest with you, because Scotty, wants to play the Valero in Texas, but we kind of getting down a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Well, and that's also why Rory's here, because it's Quail. This is like, they love him at Quail, so he would play this all the time regardless. Yeah,
exactly. Which just goes to show like Scotty's respect for Jack, having played the Memorial all the time before the US Open. They've moved that now. RBC Canadians before, which helps Scotty get his stuff together.
Yes. Yeah.
Xander, what have we thought? Like guys at 11, 12 to 1. Cam was this kind of price range last week. He was 10-2. So
I hope they get back to a traditional salaries, because those four and even Ludwig could all be in the 10K and above range. They could be. Do I think DraftKings will make them? Probably not. But I could see Ludwig at 10 flat. Fitzpatrick at 10-2. Xander at like 10-6. Cam Young at 11. I think Cam Young probably deserves 11K now.
Yeah.
And then Rory will be somewhere between 11,600 and 12,000, I think.
Okay. I fancy that. Tommy Fleetwood's now 2041 to win golf tournaments. He's kind of just like drifting. I've used that term on him a couple times already this year. Kind of just floating through the sea. Tommy Floatwood. Maybe is that going to be? Can we call him that?
Oh, I love Cuss. Tommy not Elitewood.
Tommy not Elitewood. Tommy Driftwood. Like we've got it all going here with Tommy Fleetwood. So
yeah,
not Elitewood. I mean, that's probably
he's not going to be elite pricing. You can see it in the odds.
No,
he'll be like, he'll probably be almost the same price, like 9,700, 96, 97, 98, maybe.
Yeah, he's the first. He's like the bridesmaid, right? He's in the first next tier, and he just also came through the door and just bust open the door here quickly. So carry on going down the leaderboard.
Okay. So Siwoo Kim will probably be the same price again. He'll be like $9,600 most likely, and Patrick Cantlay will be 94. Ricky Fowler. There's no way Ricky Fowler's in the 9K range. You've been good with these golfers and pricing them in the past. Do you think Ricky is going to be in the $9,000 range?
I mean, the 30 to 1 number is usually where the eights, the $8,800, $8,900 golfers start, and he's 30 to 1.
We figured that out with Victor Hovland last week. We were dead on. We said $8,900, and he was $8,900.
But there's only 8 names ahead of him, where that's the thing.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he's likely in the 9K range. He'll be maybe like Colin Mark.
Yeah, I think there's some price discrepancies here that I don't even like. If you were looking at odds and you wanted to bet some of these guys, why wouldn't you fire out Colin Morikawa? Like, he should be $9,200.
He should be like 10K. I mean, he's
close. He's 90. Yeah, I could see him at 9,600, 9,800, and I think that would be a proper price tag for him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I think like Sam Burns being ahead of him makes like 0 sense in my opinion.
We've also seen Bobby Mack in the 9K range recently as well. So like,
yeah.
Scroll down a little bit. I want to see
what is Patrick Cantlay doing ahead of Colin Morikawa?
Because he's consistent, and it looks like his game is trending a little bit. I'm trying to find him on my list. I can't see him.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Wow. Couple more scrolls, then we can get to your list. I'm curious to see. I'm very interested in Ben Griffin at $4,400.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. I do go back to Cantlay. I'm going to tell you something nuts.
Okay.
You want to take just a guess at what his worst finish has been in the last 7 weeks? You might know it off the top of your head. We've talked about it before.
It's like 22nd.
12th.
Have any of those finishes been top fives?
No. 7th, 8th, and 12th.
Like that's your best finish when your worst finish is 12th, but your best finish is like 7th. I guess that's fine, congrats. And that 7th was at RBC Heritage. Like that is the only place that is Scotty Scheffler's Murfield Village. It's Scotty Scheffler's Augusta.
Yeah.
For Cantley, right at Harbour Town.
When
your best finishes is 7th.
But here's what I'll say. Yeah. You're right. Hold on. I'll give you your due here because Cantley at Harbour Town should have been a top 5. This is what we were talking about, I think, at the RBC Heritage, or we were talking about a review of the RBC. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, we mentioned this exact same thing. Yeah. So but I will say this. I think, though, and I'm going to use something I said earlier today to Tyler when I was golfing with him. I said, I think that was the worst golf that I could have played. And I shot a 73. It was a par 71. I think it's the worst golf I could have shot today.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what Cantley looks like. That it's like these are the worst finishes I think he could have had in those tournaments. He's not playing spectacular golf per se. Nothing looks super good and nothing looks super bad. Like nothing is like wayward. He's not. We could make the argument it could be 2 or 3 putts a tournament and he is in the top 5. Could be in the top 3.
Mm-hmm. I do think there's a thing like leaderboard pressure's an absolute thing, right? Like these guys know where they are on leaderboards, and being inside the top 20 for some guys is easy to be. But then getting inside the top 5, their game starts free. That's when those 1 or 2 putts miss, is when you are inside the top 5. And then when you are outside the top 5, like Adam Scott was today, you're making all your putts. But when you're nervous and inside the top 5, you can't make your putts because putting is binary. And, we go through that all the time. But like, you feel me, right? Like it's that some guys just have, I call it like collision avoidance award with Shane Lowry. Like the moment he gets too close to the lead, it's like e-brake. And then
he gets allergic.
Back to
the podium.
Back to T4. Let me play some good golf again, get myself in the e-brake. Immediately just.
And I will say this about Cantley. He is, I think, the king of the back door. If I didn't know any better, he might be the what would you call it? The bottom of him and Xander's relationship. He might be power bottom.
I'm not going to get into that at all. I am going to say though, at minus 114 for a top 20.
Look at how uncomfortable Byron just got.
For Patrick Cantley, top 20. This is what I'm in for.
Yeah,
like this is where I'm betting Patrick Cantley top 20 at even money because he does it way more often than 50% of the time. And he's, like you said, like that's the worst golf he could have played. But for you, I'm assuming you could think like, say, but if I made this putt, and this putt, I could have easily shot a 68. Whereas for him, I think it's like, that's also the best golf I could have played. It's like the same thing, like it's weird. Anyway, back to where we were going down the leaderboard over here. Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth was in the mix to win this tournament. And Jordan Spieth finished 18th.
Can you? He hasn't round 1 and round 2 for Jordan Spieth.
Yeah. Look at that. That is just
7 under. What did he do round 2? I forget. It wasn't as good. It was very stale.
7 under with only 12 greens is insane.
1 under.
1 under.
4 birdies. So, Byron, I only bring up round 1 and 2. There was something I saw, I think, during my members only video or stream. I was really curious to see how Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas play golf together. Because, there are synergies when it comes to playing. Both of those golfers were about a half stroke. I think Jordan Spieth was like 3/4 of a stroke better playing with Justin Thomas, and Justin Thomas was like a half stroke better playing with Jordan Spieth. So after round 1, I'm like, oh my God, I just figured, like, I kind of already known these things exist, but it's like, I figured it out that, yep, let's go, Jordan Spieth. But then this happens too, where like you playing multiple days in a row, you can be hot one day and very cold the next day. Like that's a very possible outcome for any golfer. But yeah, it's something to note in the future. If they get paired up together and you are doing showdown stuff, they are golfers to consider like in the same lineup.
I couldn't agree more with you, Eric. I couldn't agree more with you. When you're playing with people that make you in a good mood, you just play better. You're not going to play worse because you're happier. Like you're going to play better because you're mentally resilient. You're not going to give up like I did at the beginning of the show so quickly. If I had a better co-host, I wouldn't have been bitching because he would have taken care of me before we went live.
Yeah, but, yeah. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm taking care of you right now, pal.
No, you are. No, we're giving the people what they want. The sick, hurtful people. Jake Knapp. What are we doing with Jake Knapp?
Was it a back injury?
Thumb, hand.
I need to know more. If it's a sprain, that's kind of icky. I don't like that. If it's a cut, that's tricky.
Flag hunting on Twitter will be at Quayle this week again. So he'll have us with a Jake Knapp update again, I'm assuming. That's going to be like his thing. So we'll wait and see what's happening with Knapp. Sepp Straka's perplexing. Speaking of these random things, Eric, Chris Gotterup. He has a third at the Open Championship in a major. I think, let's pull up your screen. I think I'm done looking at names here until, we'll figure out the odds. We just care about the guys at the top of the board.
What do you want to look at?
Chris Gotterup's recent track record, because signature events for Chris Gotterup, best finish this year in a SIG event is T18.
25th at RBC, 24th at the Masters. What was 6 weeks ago? I forget.
It would have been the Valspar because it's 2 weeks before the Masters. Yeah.
What was his price tag? Here it is. It was Houston.
Houston. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Not a SIG event. Like TPC.
Oh yeah, this would be the Players Championship right here.
SIG event. It's interesting to note with him. Just an observation. I don't know. It's a SIG event this week.
I actually really liked Gotterup this week because I thought it would play perfect. If the wind got up, it would be like a perfect, whatever for him. But
what did he do? 38th this week? At that price tag, he's just not giving you top 20s at any of the last 3 big events, which is very interesting. It's I don't know.
Yeah, off the tee stats, look, everything still looks good. He's just not. Well, around the green was terrible there. Approach was terrible. Yeah, his approach just isn't as strong.
Yeah.
As what you'd probably want. Yeah, when he's winning, well, Jesus. I mean, it's
the
putting.
Stoney, he lost. Yeah.
It's putting or it's approach. Like he is either gaining at least 4 strokes, and that's what he did up here. Oh, that's off the tee. My bad. 4.81. Yeah. Jesus.
That's 9 strokes balls. That's
I think it's
green. Yeah,
it's 13. Approach and putting. He needs to
pair them up.
Those have to be one of those has to be above 4 in order for him to, have a chance to win.
Facts. Now, I wonder if there's a certain range that he's good at or not.
Well, you have the Phoenix Open, he gained 4.81 at. Farmers, he gained 4.55 at. And nothing since then, Byron, has even looked good.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It is hard to play good golf without hitting your irons well. It's very difficult.
I remember listening to his mic'd up thing at the Players, and he just seemed all out of sorts. Like when the course is difficult, Farmers you'd think would be difficult, but if it's kind of peaceful and it's not, wind howling or whatever. I don't know, because I mean, then you have the Genesis Scottish Open that he won, and he finished third at the Open. But that was last year.
I think his best results have come in the wind. The Sony was a windy. Waste management was kind of windy.
What was his round 4? Oh, round 4 was calm today, right? For the Cadillac.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the windiest one? Was it Saturday?
I think it was yesterday. So
what did he shoot Saturday? You'll have it up. I won't. I don't have it up.
I'll put it up right now for us. Shot 69 yesterday, gained 2.7 strokes on the field in the wind, and he gained a stroke basically off the tee, a stroke on approach, and a stroke putting. So just solid stuff. He's just good.
71 today in easy conditions.
Yeah. Where you see, I think, is that the thing, Eric, when you have to hit your irons well to hit them close to make birdie putts, bad iron play, kind of comes through.
Here,
can I show you?
I know you have it up. Round 1, he shot 73. Round 2, he shot 71. Round 4, he shot 71. And then round 3, when it was really tough, he shot 69.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's just his thing. Like, he drives the ball so well, keeps it in play, keeps it in front of him, and just does it. I got a new little thing I do in my cheat sheets and stuff.
That looks cool.
It's a player summary situation. If you want the actual numbers, they're over here. If you just want the rankings, they're over here. The rankings kind of make it a little easier to kind of read. His long iron play is skeptical at best. This was for the Cadillac Championship. He's, from 200 plus, he's gaining the 51st most strokes gained in this field of 72 people for the Cad.
Well, the scoring conditions are easy. Is that what that means?
Yeah. Oh. Well, no, this is just ball striking over here. I see. I really tried my best to make it all fit on one screen. So it's I could make some changes to the font and stuff, but he has the ball striking numbers. This is just everything ball striking, off the tee, driving distance, accuracy, approach, and total ball striking. But anything 200 plus out of the fairway, he's not inside the top 20 at all. There's at least top 20. Yeah, this is for the Cadillac, and Cadillac is 200 plus and beyond. And when you're playing most of these SIG events, they're big boy golf courses with 200 yards. If you think about the Sony, 150 to 200, he has this range. There's poor shot avoidance from the fairway. He's not missing a lot of, hitting bad shots. He's keeping it in play. Whereas, random stuff like that is interesting to note. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of waiting to see what he does with the rest of signature events, but we're about done with them at this point. So
I think that's good. That's a good synopsis of of Chris Gotterup's game. Is when the conditions are tough, he's a good play.
Yeah.
I will say this too. When the conditions are calm, that's bombs away. What it's like. You're going up there and you're swinging different than if you got this big breeze in your face, or a wind blowing you in whatever directions. You got to be more stable and you got to hit a more manufactured golf swing, to keep the ball low or keep the ball in play. It's not a full let loose type of swing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole thing on its own.
Yeah.
Some golfers are not good at trying to keep the ball under the wind. Some people are good at it, and that's Gotterup.
Well, when you watch him swing, it's obvious, he hits those lasers, so we'll see. I don't know. It's an interesting take. And this is a take that I'll say this now, and Chris Gotterup not being good in signature events. Congratulations on winning the Truist Championship this week.
Yeah. We'll talk ourselves out of Gotterup this week, and then he'll just finish, first, second, or third and pay off his price tag. I like that. And when it's free flowing, God, that's weird. How someone who hits the ball as far as that's just not something that lines up with him.
Yeah. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So thought to mention. Okay. Back to our, should we start do we want to do our usual course history versus recent form stuff?
Let's start here with the lead-in stats. I'm going to go with the PGA Championship from last year because that was played at Quail Hollow.
Mhm.
That was played at Quail Hollow. And that I did use. Oh, no. So here's this. This is the difficult thing, Byron. To change course history just for this event, like for whenever the Quail Hollow champion or whenever the Quail Hollow golf course is used is difficult to do with the things that I do because it all is based off of tournament play. So here's what I'm going to say. 2025 PGA Championship, let's look at recent form. Don't look at course history because this course history is actually tournament history for the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
for
not give you
Quail Hollow.
Yeah.
So when it comes to recent form, and it's just like what we were doing is we were just looking at, the best recent form versus we were looking at the top. This is how we were doing this before. We were looking at the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Top 21 golfers. We're looking at this number here, 26, because that is our 21st golfer. So 26 average recent form, I should say. And we're keeping that in mind when it comes to recent form. Now, this is coming into the PGA Championship from last year. When we look at the recent form, what we want to do is highlight the golfers that finished the best. And Byron, what do you know? There's one guy to really talk about. That's JT Poston at $6,400. Outside of that, everybody is, Corey Connors 83. Sorry. Corey Connors, that's 19th. That to me isn't good enough at 8,300. So it's JT Poston at 64, and then everyone is 10K and above that finished inside the top 10. That has good recent form. So good recent form coming in, at least just with the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, looks good.
Now, and when it comes to recent form for the PGA Championship last year, the only different course we had was the Truist.
Yes.
At the Cricket Club. Because we've played all the other, the PGA is right where the PGA is next week after the Truist. So like the recent form is basically the same schedule.
Correct.
So it's not that bad, like it's just the course history stuff like you mentioned.
Absolutely right. You're spot on with that. Yes. So now I'll go to the Truist, which I was talking, you heard me say this. I had to update the Wells Fargo Championship to the Truist. Like
I fucking hate databases so much.
Yeah. But at least here, I don't have the course history in for 2025 because, technically the Cricket Club doesn't have course history, right?
Yeah.
So let's not look at 2025.
Yeah, I'm cool just skipping that. Yeah.
2024. So we're looking at the best recent form coming into play. Holy crap. Your most expensive golfers coming in. And this is the top recent form. It's not the top, 26 and above, but this is the top 21 golfers of recent form coming into the event. 11-8 Rory, 11-5 Xander. And we do have two 6K golfers, but one 6K golfer. So here's the interesting point that I'm going to make right now. Let's keep this in mind as we look through the next couple years. JT Poston doesn't share many qualities with Rory and Xander. And what I mean is distance. Mac Hughes.
Scrappy, short gamey kind of thing.
Is that also what you would describe Mac Hughes as?
It's very much so.
Yeah. So that's something just to keep in mind. Those are the only two 6K golfers that are really worth mentioning. Lucas Glover's here too that finished 16th. Very, it's a birdie or two away from kind of matching Mac Hughes most likely, especially with DK points. So another scrappy, this is more of a ball striker. But everyone else is, there's Seabez, but everyone else is like 8K and above. Oh, Denny McCarthy. Okay. Jesus. My eyes are going so crazy, like just super fast looking at things.
You're fine, dude.
But the one thing to mention, the favorites with good recent form, Xander and Rory.
Yeah.
The next, what you want to add with these golfers, Mac Hughes, Denny McCarthy, short game specialists, putting for those guys, the cheap guys. These in the middle. Tommy Fleetwood was coming in with decent recent form. hitting the ball well. A good ball striker. C was a good ball striker. Henley is a good ball striker. Seabez, what's Seabez's strength? Short game?
It's definitely not ball striking.
Yeah.
It's definitely short game.
Now, are there other golfers on here that we could say have good short game that we can kind of?
I would say Russell Henley could probably be part of that, but this is 2024. Russell Henley back then was more of a ball striker. He's now morphed into a short game wizard. This is ball strikers only, man.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just mentioning Poston's name again because this is, a year later and he's 60th place. That's not super great. And his recent form was really good. So it's not always the same dude. It's not always someone like you just got to latch onto and say, oh, it's a short game guy and he's got good recent form. We got to play him. Yeah. He might be one of 3, one of 4, that have really good recent form. So keep that in mind.
But for the most part, there's a lot of source off the tee. Yeah. If you filter by, finishes, you're going to just see strong drivers of the golf ball strikers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the beautiful thing about this tool. It's a lead-in stats tool. And we can see you're absolutely spot on, Byron. The off the tee stats are incredible for these guys that finished at the top of the leaderboard. You obviously got Rory, one of the best in ever, 0.9 strokes off the tee, 0.4, 0.6, 0.1 with Jason Day. At his peak, he was much better than 0.1.
Mm-hmm.
Sungjae 0.2. This is when Sungjae was struggling last year. So he was struggling. His recent form was 60.67.
And he's in the same boat. I think he's hitting his irons worse than he was coming into this week.
Here are your short game specialists, but then we just jump right back down to just ball strikers. Look at this.
Yeah.
Combined Max Homa 0.5. Combined Straka 0.7. Grayson Murray 0.2.
RIP.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Henley 0.6. Taylor Pendrith. We know he's a masher of the golf ball, though.
Oh yeah, distance wise for sure. Yeah. You want to scroll up? I've got my comments hiding those numbers now.
Oh, scroll down.
They were perfect. Thank you.
We're on Sam Burns.
Burnsy. Connors, poster child.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A combined 1 stroke off the tee and approach. Yeah. So, the writing's on the wall. It's pretty simple to understand that ball striking is going to be king here. Trying to find the golfers that. Now, here's the thing. I like doing this. I like doing this all the time. We sort by off the tee best to worst. Look at the leaderboard. That's a lot of green.
Yeah.
That's not, not
a lot of red at all.
Was this a signature event in 2024? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that's a lot of green and a lot of yellow. I mean, yellow's not super great, but that's only a few strokes off of being in the green. Yeah, there's no red and there's very little orange.
Yeah.
So, and then we can go approach top to bottom. Same thing. Eric Cole's like the only dude that, kind of suffered from being good on approach with a bad result.
Yeah.
But off the tee was way more important.
I think so.
Approach. We see more orange here. There's, one more red. I don't really care to look at the around the green or putting stuff, but
scooting to 20.
Look at the last 7 weeks heading into the event. There's a lot of ways that we can attack this. Doesn't really give us that last 7 weeks. Doesn't really give us too good of things. Oh God, approach not good either.
So what happens in the last 7 weeks before the Truist? We've got Valspar, Valero, Houston, Players.
Last
RBC Heritage.
2024 Truist. So here it is. You would add the BYRON, the Zurich, Punta Cana, Heritage, Masters, Valero, right?
Well, there's a couple like
1, 2,
Corrales
3,
is going to be
4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to the Valspar.
Yeah, that's a variety. Like RBC Heritage is like you're not going to be driving the living piss out of it on those golf. Those are more like iron venues than. So I like the last year as like a bigger sample size, because those kind of depends what courses the guys play leading up to it can change their off the tee numbers based off what the course demands, right? So I like that last year off the tee, like long term, just good drivers that we know. You don't have to look at the stats right now; you just know he's a good driver of the golf.
That's right. That's right. We can go through each of these leaderboards and basically just look at the top, and we can tell you, by name value. Oh, 2023. Look who's at the top. It's Wyndham Clark.
Ball striking almost a stroke, almost.
Yep.
Ball striking.
That was last 7 weeks. We go last year, stroke gain last year. Still, I mean, it's still good.
He was driving it better. Yeah.
You got Xander. Yeah, it's just a bunch of good ball strikers. All of these, except for Harris English, are going to be Harris English and Brennan.
R.I.P.
Well, hey, what is Brennan Todd good at?
I know, but
short game,
and so is Harris. It's typically guys that are very good with the short game. I mean,
7K short game wizards. Find your 6K short game guy. Find your 7K short game guy too.
I
Michael
love that.
Kim isn't a short game guy at 66, but his ball striking is pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a mix and match. It's a mix and match between your 7s and your 6s to try to find.
You didn't have to apply the same filter to the expensive guys as we do the cheapies, because the cheapie guys are typically not good ball strikers anyway.
Right. Well, okay. You actually reminded me of a good point here. This kind of goes back to other analysts with their signaling and their forecasting when it comes to strokes gain data and stuff.
Yeah.
What do we typically see at the top of our leaderboards? The best golfers in the world. So that's why they're going to be really good when it comes to, approach and off the tee. Yep. That makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when we look at the rest of these 7K, 6K golfers, now we're trying to kind of pull apart or try to analyze these golfers. Most of them are good ball strikers. Yeah. Some of them, not all of them. Like if you look at the whole top 10 leaderboard, we can only point out two short game specialists. I would say, 3, I guess. Brendan Todd, Denny McCarthy, and Harris English.
Yeah.
Those are your 3. Okay, 3. Look at how many, that were inside the top 10. 13 golfers. So you're, I don't know. What
10
is that?
of 13 are ball strikers. Like 3 of 13.
25% short game guys. Like that's all that you could find in the top 10. This kind of goes back to our conversation about 6K golfers to put in a Scotty Scheffler lineup. Like, don't get too cute with, really trying to go all out on trying to find short game guys. I'm mentioning these things because the other part of this is don't count out any of these guys either. Like I know it might be kind of conflicting and it might be, because I'm kind of saying, look at all the ball strikers. So wouldn't you always just play the ball strikers? Well, if you can find, like, if there's a guy that you like that's a good short game specialist, fucking play him.
Fucking play him. Yeah. And that's the thing is there's certain guys that are putting is a very volatile stat because bad putters can putt well any given day. If you misread a putt and you pull it, it's in the hole. Like where if you're a bad driver, you're not going to just wake up on a Saturday morning and go out tomorrow and just hit it 315 yards down the middle. Brendan Todd he could wake up and piss excellence and drive it 290 down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing going to change, like whereas putting it can. So I think, just for those of you that are questioning our jumping back and forth here, there's certain stats that some guys repeat and some guys just cannot get to.
I'm kind of seeing a little, because now I went back to the recent form tab for 2023.
Yeah.
When we look at the top recent form golfers, that's where I'm finding there's Denny McCarthy, short game specialist.
Short game.
That's where we kind of found, we're not seeing
Matt Kuchar. That's his name there.
23rd. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot who our guys were this year that were short game guys. Harris English. Yeah. His recent form wasn't that far off. 37.5. Brendan Todd's recent form was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not awful, but just not good. Who's our other guy that we said it was English, Todd, and what's his name? Denny McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Golfers with no recent form. Well, this is when there was a cut, so never mind. This is when we get into the full field event stuff. But still applies. Your top price golfer with good recent form. It's kind of the
crushed.
Yeah. 2022, do we see the same thing? Was this played at a different tournament or a different golf course?
Yeah, I want to say that was TPC Potomac. Did Max Homa win?
2022 was played at Potomac. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so we skip this one then.
Yeah.
No need to look at 2022. It's not going to apply the same information that we want to see.
That was the year I had Keegan Bradley finish second to Max Homa twice in a year, I think.
Oof.
Fun in the sun.
Well, this kind of breaks the mold to some extent. Rombo being the best recent form guy.
Yeah, that's just shout out variance. It happens.
Xander's okay. JT not so great. Who was our most expensive golfer this year? It was JT. Bryson. What? Oh, Rory's recent form was awful.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. Dude, he was playing very, very bad golf for a period of time. I think it was right around when Bryson had chased distance and then Rory started chasing,
this would
right?
be that year. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, because Rory then got
I'm just
caught up in that
hard
too.
right now.
Hey, this is why you're one of the best in the business. You got that brain.
Hey boy, thank you. Feeling good now. Let's go. I just looked at my results from last week and I'm up half a unit now all of a sudden.
There we go, buddy. There you go.
I'm just joking. Okay.
Yeah. Victor Hovland was an expensive golfer, but I don't know. That's not the same as we've seen in the previous years, and we don't have a short game specialist here.
I think Answer maybe. Is Answer
at 8,900? Yeah. I was mostly looking for my 7 and 6K, but you're absolutely right with the. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right with Abe Answer as
Sa. Wasn't Justin Sa like a really good putter?
I thought he was like a distance guy.
I don't know. It's Justin Sa. I don't.
Who were we just talking about? Who was
Answer?
Oh yeah, Abe Answer. Yeah, I mean the putting is good,
but he's a bit of both.
Yeah, ball striking was really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm looking at that around the green column, dude, and look at all of those like white boxes in that column. It's like almost doesn't mean anything. Yeah,
doesn't mean anything. Even putting. Look at putting. Putting's bad too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 2021. We skipped 2022, 2023. Looking at, I mean, it's better.
Yeah, it's much better this week.
That was 2023, 2024. It's decent. 2025 was last year. Never mind. We don't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
There was no tournament 2020, 2019. Max Homa won with bad recent form. Putting in around the green. There it is. That was where it didn't matter. But those are full field events. So I don't know.
Course history quickly. With Max at the top, I'm curious what he'd done here in the past.
Oh, you want to get course history here?
Yeah, if he had a couple good debut? Oh no.
No. So here's the thing with this course history button. It will pull what was before it.
Correct.
So, and I can't hide these just because that's how Power BI works. So
it is what it is.
Yep. So yeah, you can get what their course history was and then what their finishes were leading into the event.
So make make it back to the PGA Tour for the second time after going back to the KFT for a second time. And then come back and win Quail Hollow. By the way, if we're talking Max Homa real quick here, if you take a look at his records over the last little while, he's now obviously got the 3 top 12s at the Masters in the last 3 years. I think his only other top 10 came at Quail over the last 2 years.
That's a good course for him.
So
it's like him,
a fantastic golf course for him.
Him, Ricky, and Rory all kind of get rejuvenated for this tournament.
Is Max in the field this week?
I thought I saw him in the field. Let's take a look. I'm going to, oh yeah, if I sort by this, it's not going to go by name. It's going to go by,
he's in the field. 115 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Plus 620 for a top 10. I kind of fancy that.
Yeah. I mean, his game, oh my God, he's way down here. And hey, if there's anything that we could say is his recent form has been pretty bad.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter here.
Not for him. Again, you can't apply every single blanket to every single golfer. Correct. Like Max Homa's blanket can be wet and he'll still play well. That's right.
I agree. 2019 recent form. This is top guys with recent form. I don't know, Byron. Like I'm feeling really comfortable. Anybody in the 14 or she's not 14, the 10K range. I'm thinking of Scotty Scheffler's price tag. 10K range, even that 9K range. Like this is a couple times, we've seen like Victor Hovland at 9,800 that finished third. Here's Sergio at 9,900, finished fourth. Justin Rose finished third. Joel Damon, your short game maven, 7K, finished second. I don't know. I'm feeling. I'm not like I'm absolutely needing or I think it's a necessity to make sure that I'm finding short game guys to put in my lineups. But I think those that have good recent form, I think I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah. So who at the top of the leaderboard this week's slate is the best?
Cheat.
It's Cam Young and Matt Fitzpatrick and Ludwig.
And we go by recent form. Yeah, I mean, even Alex Fitzpatrick. Because he just finished, 11th?
I mean,
these are your top 20-some golfers. I think there's more on this list than we've seen in the other ones. I think this is like 25 golfers or something like that. These are all your best recent form dudes. And was your question going to be who are the best short game guys?
No, like who are the best, like the guys that are $9,000 and above? Who's in the best form right now?
Is it? I mean, is it difficult to say Rory?
I think Rory, he's not in form. He's played one tournament in 7 weeks. Like there's no form there. So let's just ignore that for the sake of the argument.
Okay. So what our criteria is at least 2 events. Or 3 events?
You gotta have an average finishing rate in the last 7.
Fitzpatrick, then?
It's both Fitzes. It's definitely Cam Young.
Oh, what I meant was Matt Fitzpatrick. But yeah, you're right too. Cam Young, absolutely.
Yeah. Colin, like he's playing. What did he do this week? He kind of sucked it up a bit this week, didn't he? I think he really struggled with the putter.
I didn't even see you tell me.
62nd. Yeah.
Ooh.
He lost 6.4 strokes putting. 6.8 strokes putting this week.
Okay. I also like to do this too. And this is just whatever. If I look at my finishes and I look at the week before, okay, not 2025, 2024. I'm looking for like really bad finishes. I mean, Jason Day, 7,800.
Course history though. That he's like a Quail Hollow.
Yeah, and I mean,
go to his course history though, because he's got like really good finishes. Yeah, he must have a couple really bad ones.
115th, won it in 2018. Is that correct?
Yeah. He loves this place.
Okay, so there's a win or 2 top 20s with a win and 2 missed cuts, and then 2 in the middles.
Yeah. That Max Homa course, I mean, he's going to be popular, I would imagine.
Yeah,
course history wise.
What was I just looking at? Recent form. Yeah.
So sorry. Yeah, got you way off track.
No. So here we go. I'm just going to go right through the years and just look at the worst finishes inside the top 5, top 10. It's like missed cuts. That's great, but we're not going to have a missed cut this week to look at. 69th, Keith Mitchell. These are all low price golfers. These are not going to be Colin Morikawa priced golfers. Yeah, I don't. Now, Can I find a Colin Morikawa price golfer that has a bad finish from the week before? Maybe, but that's going to take a long time to get through. So I don't even know if it's even worth it. And we only have a couple years. Well, 9,300. Where was that? Tony Finau. J-Day, 11,000 after his win. He had a missed cut the week before.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Homa won. I don't know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
summarize.
The one thing that I think is the most important: anchor your lamps around high-priced golfers that have good reason for them. And if there's another argument to be made, like kind of I'm thinking of like conditionals that we would make here. Check to see the price of Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, obviously Rory McIlroy. They come to this event. They love this event. So
Max is 115 to 1. So I would imagine that's 6K range for
6K
sure.
range? Woo!
Yeah, triple digits, I reckon, is 6K.
Yeah,
6K
that makes
guys.
sense. I don't disagree. That makes sense. I don't see a lot of other things. I mean, we didn't do the course history recent form poll, but here, let's just do it this way. We haven't done this in a while, so let's go ahead and do it. We'll put these filters on, and we'll just go 28.
Sure.
Oh, no, 28 for recent form for sure. And let's go 1.01. And 1.01.
By the way, I drove back from Minnesota today.
You were, I had a feeling you were in Minnesota. I don't know why. I was going to text you to see if you could go golfing today.
I wasn't even going to reach out to you because I didn't have any time to do anything with you. So
that's fine. Okay. I'm actually going to do course history at 35. So these are our elite golfers. You remember that whole little thing we were doing?
Mm-hmm.
So it starts in 2024 because, again, 2025, the Truist was Cricket Club, and the PGA Championship had Quail Hollow, but I'm not going to do PGA Championship stuff.
And 2022 was Potomac.
That's right.
The course here.
But all of my buckets or all of the conditionals are going to go through for each of the years we look at.
Okay.
Here's your best course history with your best recent form.
The winner.
First and second.
Yeah.
2023. Ooh, that's not good.
Ooh.
Hold on. Let's move the numbers a little bit. Maybe this goes to 32.
Not good.
Course history goes to 37. Okay. How about 35 for recent form? Still not good. We get Xander this way. If we go back to 2024, it still stays the same, but we add Fleetwood. Okay, so maybe we got our numbers good here. So yeah, one high price golfer. 2021, not 2022. Oh my God.
I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like
our elite grouping is even, well, here's 2019. 2018. There we go. We're getting good results now.
Pat Perez.
Yeah, Pat Perez. There we go. 26. Okay, so the elite grouping is still good. 8th place, Rory. 1st and 4th. 3rd and 4th. 2nd. 5th and 8th. 3rd, 8th, 4th, and 4th. We didn't see anything in 2020. 2021 was bad. I don't even know what the heck was going on in 20. We were talking about the Bryson chasing distance thing. 2022 was not played at whatever. We do get a 2nd place over Xander. That's not great. And then we come back to form with Rory and Xander here. So, I mean, it's Rory and Xander.
Rory and Xander. I mean, we've got a good couple of names, dude. Because I think Cam Young's on that list as well.
Yeah, but his like his course history isn't going to be that much better when it comes to, after this finish here, 34th.
What is Cam Young's current strokes gained? ball striking coming into the week.
Current?
Off the, just off the tee plus approach kind of thing, like we were looking at earlier. Last 7 weeks.
Last 7 weeks?
Yeah.
Cam Young. Jesus Christ. 1.4.
That is absurd.
Now, hold on. I mean, Rory's is 1.5.
Yeah, that's also absurd. But also these are but this is the thing. Cam has played multiple tournaments. That's Rory's Masters in there only. Same with Rosie and
that's right. It is. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So let's just go last year. Let's go bigger sample.
Okay.
Still solid. It's the same as Rory almost.
Pretty much. I mean, strokes gained tee to green. Fitzpatrick is up there. Siwoo Kim shaking that ass.
Yeah.
Matt Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood's tee to green over the last year is good, but obviously recently hasn't been super great.
Not.
Xander, Rory, Colin, JJ, Cam Young. This will go up after his performance at the Cadillac.
Nikolai.
Good,
yeah. I think the blueprint is pretty simple. I wouldn't be shocked if similar guys play well this week that did at the Blue Monster last week.
Yeah.
Similar course, they're going to be playing like 7,600. What is Quail? 7,600 yards? It's a long golf course.
Oh, I have multiple selections. How did that happen? Okay. Yeah, 76-26.
Yeah, it's long. I'm interested, man. So if you go and filter over the last year off the tee wise, that just makes got her up.
Fitzpatrick, that's the Zurich, I think.
Yeah, it's very little.
I don't even know how Data Golf came up with those stats. I really don't. I mean, I guess if they just know every shot that he hit and then just applied the...
That may also just be the Scottish Open and the Open Championship as well, which he played in, the co-sanction stuff. Knapp makes, Pearson Coody is a very interesting name, looking at him at a course like this.
I was on Pearson Coody early. I kept playing him. That injury, whatever happened, that
derailed him.
Yeah.
Because what did he do this week? Coody, 38th, and he gained over a stroke off the field off the tee. So he gained 4 strokes at DORAL off the tee and lost a fraction overall. So all the rest of his game just undoing all the good work off the tee. Whereas this week, I think you could probably get away with a little bit less of that. I fancy him. Aldrich, dude, Aldrich.
This is a good course like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that's like 7,600 yards and beyond.
I like watch distance. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
If you just track, I was obviously, tracking lots of shots of his, and then he'll be like 240 out and he'll hit it to like 7 feet, 6 feet. He's just so good from so far. And the less wedges you have, the less he can fall behind the field. And I love that he's got a bit of form coming in, because Aldrich's now got RBC Heritage. He was inside the top 20 until Sunday. I think he finished like middle of the pack, and then a nice 14th place finish this week.
Okay. Yeah, and I was not much of a Aldrich true. I heard a little bit of people wanting to play him at the Cadillac, and I just thought there's too much water. I just did not want to play Aldrich with that much trouble in play. And yeah, you finished. You said 14th.
Yeah,
it's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
and he was in that alternate Scotty lineup. If we're trying to swap 6K golfers around, yeah, he probably would have made something work out.
Yeah. And he gives you these high, he's very inconsistent. I almost got into a fight with some guy who was just randomly slandering Aldrich today when he said, remember that time that Jose Maria Alazabal beat Aldrich by 10 shots in the opening round of the Masters this year. And it's like, just who's waking up on Sunday morning and like tweeting this stuff out?
What a nitpicky thing. Yeah.
So I replied to him, like, remember that time when he had more wins than Tommy Fleetwood after winning the Rocket Mortgage?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. I don't know, without having salaries in front of us, I don't know how much of a deep dive we can really do with those cheapies down below. And I'm looking at the time. I don't know if I have time to do a deep dive of those cheapies either.
No, I'm cool calling it quits this evening at this point. We did start an hour later as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all I'll have to say is, like, you know, as the week goes on, we'll get more information. We'll know more about Jake Knapp. We'll know more about salaries, you know, like, because that's a huge part of roster construction for DFS. You know, like, obviously I do more DFS, you do more betting. Well, you do both, but when it comes between both of us, I don't do betting. You do it, I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, price tags are going to matter. And then, yeah, I think, you know, you'll be on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates on Monday. You'll be talking to Kenny about probably both events, both Myrtle Beach and Truist.
We'll see how much I can get Myrtle. I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not like prepped for.
Yeah. I also, like, I don't care either, but I'm going to provide the data and information for people to use. So
yeah, I may
you guys
throw
can
them
go
all
to
together
the
for the
cheat
Myrtle,
sheets,
but...
and take a look there. I always play like one lineup in there just to get the DraftKings data. I don't care. You know, like, anybody can do the same analysis we just did for the Truist, apply it the same thing on my website to Myrtle Beach. You can do the exact same thing. Same thing. Sorry for us not talking about it, but also I don't care for the Myrtle Beach.
You know, you can only talk about so much at the end of the day.
One flight Myrtle Beach, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. Don't fight with us if we don't do the one flight. It's what it is.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Truist.
Are you doing a Tuesday pod this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can play the right DraftKings ad for the third week in a row this time now, instead of hitting the Masters ad back-to-back weeks after the Masters. Whoops. So, yeah. Who's winning this week?
You know, hard to
between Xander, Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Rory. I think this is just too good of vibes for him, and especially after coming off the second Masters win that he's had. You and I have kind of talked about this before. It's just I'm a fan of dominant players being dominant, and I think he's got the makeup right now to be dominant. You know, from he had his back injury at the API, and then didn't play very good at TP or the Players Championship. That feels so long ago.
Yeah, but that was the only tournament he played before the Masters, right?
Yeah, he finished second at Riviera when I was on him to win that tournament, which was probably still Feb.
Yeah, so just think about that, though. You go from that, in the API, it would have been just shortly after that, maybe a week or two after that.
Yeah.
And that's where he had his back injury. And then he played, the next week at the Players Championship, scraped around a 40th place finish there, and then went on and won the Masters.
Yeah.
So at tournaments that he should be good at, like Genesis at the Riv, he got second. And then the Masters, he won back to back. Dude, this is his time of the year to shine. Like, he's just gonna, move on from here.
Yeah.
I'm also very curious to see what Cam Young's gonna do. Dude, I want to see that guy just go nuclear again.
I mean, at this point, you've won now the champ, the Players Champ, and the Cadillac. Like, it's not like you're a deer in headlights anymore. Like, you're winning big boy tournaments like routinely. You just finished third at the Masters. It's like this guy's. We can expect some things. Before we get out of here, random stat for you. Saw Ron tweet out that Cam finished dead last in birdie rates on the par fives this week.
Okay.
Cam Young and still won. He's historically been like really bad on par fives. He's only been inside the top 50 once in his career in par five scoring.
Well, that actually is very interesting because I think that's going to be one of the key stats you're going to see at Quail Hollow. Par five scoring is going to be important. But maybe it's going to be easier par fives to score on, and that way he's going to score better. Like, I don't know. It's a mental like thing when it comes to the par of a hole. Like if he just played holes by yardage instead of pars, treat everything as like a long par four. Maybe he starts playing. I don't know. Like I don't know what his deal is. So worth noting. But Byron, I made a par on a par five today, where my second shot was 115 yards away from the green. It was like a 480 yard par five. So like it wasn't super long.
So your second,
you hit my driver. I hit my driver like 340 or something like that. It was, but I didn't know where I was hitting it. It's the first time playing that golf course. And there were like long weeds alongside the right of the hole, trimmed down because it's springtime. And so my ball was like right in front of a little mound. Tried to put my wedge down to the ball, and the ball started to move. And I'm like, well, all right, fine, I'll hover it. And like there was this much grass above the ball. Like so, and I would just come down with the wedge this far away, and the ball would just start to move. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Okay, so I hover it this far above the whatever, and I try to hit it. I worm burned it. Like I did not catch a lot of golf ball, and there wasn't a lot of green to work with from the pin to my shot, and I had like a 40-yard shot. Tried to hit something a little aggressive, went over the green, then chipped up and made the putt for a 5. So hey, I should have had a good birdie look from where I was. But shit happens, Shit
happens. Yeah. By the way, you have something in common with Cam Young today. His ball also moved, and he got assessed a one shot. He beat Scotty Scheffler by 6 shots today with a 1-shot penalty from the middle of the fairway after the ball moved. Shout out Sia, cash the Cam Young outright today. Hello, Sia. Good to see you coming in at the end. Yeah, we are about to peel the hell out. Go check out Sia on Sportsline. Go check out Wheels Up on his channel. That's it from me, Dabo. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep.
Let me do a hot take right now. This tournament is going to be way more fun to watch than last week's tournament because you've got Rory, Cam Young, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Maybe the hottest golfers on tour, not named Scotty Scheffler. And then you also have Xander, who hasn't really been playing the greatest, but plays well at this golf course.
Yeah.
We got 4 studs that, hopefully they can elevate their game to give us a good show.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time with a couple, good course fits that aren't necessarily, dominating right now that could show up too. Jacob Bridgman's I'm kind of having a couple random thoughts. With Jacob Bridgman's situation, he didn't shoot over par once after shooting 79 in round 1. Like this guy's now done this twice where his opening round at RBC Heritage and at the Cadillac was like closer to 80 than it was to 70. And then still played well for the rest of the week.
That he had never played before.
Yeah, I'd imagine everything that he's played because he's been SIG event status for the first time this year. So, I think he seems to just have run out of. He was playing. It happened right when I started betting him top 20. So, anyway, I'm out of here. Happy Sunday, everybody. We'll catch you all soon.
Bye.